Welcome friends, I'm Diane. I'm 59 years old, postmenopausal. I've been on a GLP-1 medication since November of 2022, and I've lost about 104 pounds. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, thank you for coming back. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick overview of my week. It was kind of an unusual week for me. I did do a weigh-in yesterday and I gained about half a pound. Not freaking out about it because, like I said, it was an unusual week and it's probably just a fluctuation. So just keep moving forward and I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, I had some exciting, interesting things happen this week. First of all, last weekend, Bob and I traveled to New Jersey, my home state, to go to a birthday party for some friends of mine. My matron of honor, Lisa, threw a 65th birthday party for her husband, Frank. So Bob and I went out on Sunday, and it's quite a drive for us to get out there, to get back to New Jersey. If you know anything about Long Island, it's not easy to get there and it's not easy to leave there. You have basically two options other than flying. You need to drive through New York City or Staten Island, or you need to take a ferry up to Connecticut. Neither is easy, neither is inexpensive, but driving can be a real pain in the butt. There are two particular roads. If I go the northern route, I have to go across the Cross Bronx Expressway to get to the George Washington Bridge, and the Cross Bronx is the worst road on the face of the planet. I hate it with the fire of 1,000 suns. If you go the southern route, you go through Staten Island and you have to take the Belt Parkway. And again, another hellacious road, always full of traffic. It's just a pain in the butt. Anyway, we got there, had a lovely time. Bob and I were actually the first people to arrive because we left our house around 10 a.m. and the party started at noon, and we got there about 10:40 or 11:40, I'm sorry. And so I got to spend a little time with Lisa and Frank, which was really nice. I haven't seen them in a long, long time. And so it was lovely to have those few minutes alone with them to catch up. And I gave Frank his present. I brought him some Long Island wine. There are several wineries on the east end of Long Island. And I personally know nothing about wine. I don't drink it. The only wine I've ever really drank is sangria, and I haven't had that in many, many years. And the last time I had it was when I was with Lisa. So I know nothing about wine, so I went to the local wine and liquor store, and a lovely gentleman suggested a couple of local wines for me, and hopefully Lisa and Frank enjoy them. And I was upfront with them. I said, I don't know how these are. These were highly recommended. So I'm sure once they have it, they'll let me know how they were. But yeah, that was definitely not my forte. I apologize for my appearance. I actually just got back from doing a walk. I've talked about how rough the past few months have been. And I think I've also, on top of everything else, been kind of dealing with the seasonal affective disorder. Now, I normally don't have that. That's usually not a problem for me. I think it's hit me hard this year. And I just had this overwhelming feeling that I needed to get outside this morning. So I bundled myself up because it's still cold here. And I got my butt over to the local park. And I did 2.25 miles. Now this particular park has a loop, and the loop itself is about 3.5 miles. But I usually park outside of the park and then walk in, and that's another little bit. But if you do the whole loop and the little part to walk outside the park, it comes out to just over 4 miles. And I didn't feel like I was quite up for that because I haven't, other than playing pickleball, I really haven't done much cardio. I haven't done much working out, period. So I wanted to take it easy. So I kind of did a shorter route today, and I think I did 2.25 miles, and I felt really good. And just having the sunlight on my face, my mood is so much better right now. Tomorrow, I think Bob and I are going to go for a bike ride, my first bike ride of the year, which is crazy to think about that it's mid-March and I haven't been on my bike yet. He's actually going to play pickleball tomorrow. He's doing some open play thing, and he's going to ride his bike to the facility, and then I'm going to meet him there. I'm going to drive there. But before that, I'm going to ride out with him for a bit and then come back home, and he's going to keep going. And then I'll come home and get the car, and I'll go meet him and watch him play. So it'll be nice to be outside again. Like I said, the sunlight just felt so good, and I feel like I've been rejuvenated a little bit. It's been, we've had a really harsh winter. It's been extremely cold, and we've had tons of snow. And in fact, there's still piles of snow, spots here and there. The grass is finally clear of snow, but there's still where they pile it up. We still have quite a few piles hanging around, but I'll be glad when those are gone because, yeah, sick of snow. Thursday night, I went to see a concert, and on my way there, it started to snow, and I was like, are you kidding? Come on. Enough with the snow. Anyway, so I went to a concert. I went and saw Shaun Cassidy. Now, if you're of a certain age, like me, he was a teen idol during my preteen years. He was the first concert I ever saw back in, I can't remember if it was 78 or 79 at the Garden State Arts Center. My best friend Laura and her mom took us, and I laugh about it now, that poor woman, because the screaming must have been pretty intense. The squealing of the teen and preteen girls must have been overwhelming, but she toughed it out for us. But so anyway, I had seen him back then, and then I saw him on Broadway with his half-brother David Cassidy in a show called Blood Brothers back in '94. And I went with a couple of girls that I was working with at the time. And we really enjoyed that. We actually got to meet David after the show at the stage door. Didn't meet Shaun, unfortunately, but that's okay. So anyway, back in, I think it was September, I saw that he was going to be playing at a theater here on the island, which is, it's like 10 miles from my house. And I posted on Facebook to my friends, and I said, yeah, he's going to be playing almost in my backyard. Should I go? And everybody's like, yeah, you got to go. Well, I couldn't get anybody to go with me. My friends that would have gone with me all live out of state, and it was too far of a trip for any of them to make on a Thursday night. So I went by myself, and that's fine. The show was great. I was amazed by the crowd. It was probably 85% women my age and maybe a little bit older. A few husbands, a few other men in the crowd, but it was predominantly female, of course. And it was a great show. He did all his hits, and he actually did a song from Blood Brothers. Yeah, it was really sort of a fun experience. I don't know if he's going to continue to tour. And I've already spoken with Lisa, and I said, if he tours again and he plays in New Jersey, I'm coming out and we're going together because we're both big Shaun fans. She's actually met him. We're already making those plans. And so, it was kind of a flashback. This whole week was kind of a flashback going back to my college, because that's where I met Lisa. Lisa and I went to college together. And then going back to my preteen years to see my first crush, Shaun Cassidy. And so it's been a fun but weird week. It's been definitely an unusual week for me, and I had fun. So this past week has been a really good week. Even though I gained like half a pound or whatever, it was a good week. the best week I've had in months. So I am very happy. I'm sure you can tell I'm a little more animated than usual. And I'm just hoping to keep that momentum going forward. Now, while I was at the concert, I did have a non-scale victory. Particular theater that the show was at is an old theater. And, you know, when you're overweight, you always, or at least I've always been nervous about going to like shows and things because the seats always felt really small and you don't want to be crowding anybody. And it's not bad when you go to a show with other people that you know, but in this case, I went by myself and I sat in the seat and I had plenty of room and I didn't feel like I was impeding. I was on the aisle, so I didn't feel like I was impeding on the person sitting next to my left. And I felt comfortable the whole time. I didn't feel like I was squished into the seat. So, you know, another non-scale victory, and I'm going to take it. Another positive aspect of this week. And let's keep going forward. Another exciting thing that's going on, it's actually more Bob than me. My husband has a lot of interests. And one of his interests is music, and he's been a musician. He's played locally for many years in several bands. He had an originals band where he wrote all the music called the Vagabond Loafers, and they actually put out a CD that you can find on your favorite streaming services. That came out, I don't remember how long ago, it was more than a decade ago. But he also has, he had a rockabilly band called the Bobcats, and they had kind of ceased for several years. The lead guitarist was having some medical issues, and come to find out he's not able to perform live anymore. So the band kind of just stopped playing, and Bob got involved in other things. But a few months ago, Bob, our friend Kevin, our friend Rob, and our friend Steve started talking about bringing the band back together, and they, of course, would need a new guitarist. And they auditioned like 3 or 4 guys, and they found somebody they really like. And so they're now starting to put together gigs. And their first gig, I believe, is on April Fool's Day. At a local barbecue place, and so that's going to be exciting. Part of the reason that I enjoy the music, and it's actually all music I grew up listening to because it's what my parents listened to. I didn't know who Led Zeppelin was till I was a teenager. You know, I was listening to Elvis and all of those type of bands. So I knew when he started playing this music, I knew it all, and he was actually surprised that I knew it all. I'm like, this is what I grew up listening to. When they would play in the past, they'd be playing at bars and stuff, and we wouldn't get home till 2 or 3 in the Sunday. You know, they'd play on a Saturday night, and we wouldn't get home till 2 or 3 in the morning, and I can't do that anymore. And he can't either. He's already said that, you know, they're not looking to do that kind of stuff. So the few gigs that they have right now are early evening gigs or daytime gigs, and I think that will be much better because I just can't do the late night stuff anymore. I'm in bed by 10 o'clock, you know. So that'll be fun. I actually just got tickets to see the Stray Cats, speaking of rockabilly, and Long Island. They're going to be playing here on the island in August. And so we've seen two of the members of the band before. We've seen Brian Setzer several times. He used to do a concert on the island Thanksgiving week every year, him and the Brian Setzer Orchestra, and we would always go to that. And then he had some medical issues, so he stepped away from playing for a while, but it sounds like he's doing better. And then we saw the bass player, Lee Rocker, in fact, at the same theater I saw Shaun Cassidy at, and we had actually gotten front row tickets for that show. So we saw him a few years ago, but this is the first time we're going to see the whole band together. So looking forward to that. That's not till August. Yeah, it's weird all of a sudden that music has popped back into my life. And so I'm looking forward to doing that kind of stuff in the future. Another exciting thing that's happened the past couple of weeks is a few months ago, a friend of mine, my friend Gail, who I play pickleball with and I ride bikes with, she forwarded a survey to me from a cycling clothing manufacturer who was looking to start making women's jerseys, including plus size jerseys. And I think most plus size women have the same problem that I've had always, is finding clothes, athletic workout clothes that fit. And I found a couple of companies here and there that have worked, but this particular company, and I don't know if I can mention it at this point, maybe once things move further along here, they're looking to expand to include the larger sizes, more, size inclusive stuff. There's a lot of companies that say they're size inclusive when they're really not. But this company sounds like that they're committed to that. So anyway, they had this survey several months back asking for what we would look for in cycling jerseys. And so I filled it out and didn't think about it. And I got an email a couple weeks ago from them saying that they're getting ready to start releasing prototypes. And if you sign up with them, if you respond to this particular email and you're one of the first 15 to 20 people, they'll send you a free jersey in exchange for feedback. And they said if we really like the jersey, they would ask us for a photo with us wearing it and maybe some words for their website or whatever. So, not thinking that I would be selected, I filled it out and I picked my color and I picked the style and I picked the size. And I looked at their size chart and it looks like it'll fit me. They said that these particular jerseys are going to be a wider cut, a little looser cut. So I think I should be fine with that, and obviously because that's always a concern. And so I sent off, the information. And I got the email back that I was selected as one of the people to test out this new jersey. So I should be getting it in early April, I believe they said. So I want to start getting back on my bike because, I've got to test this thing out and see what I think of it. So that's exciting. I can't wait to get my new jersey. Jerseys are expensive, and particularly plus size jerseys are ridiculously expensive because they like charging us more money for plus size clothing. So to get one for free is great, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'll talk more about that once I get it and once I'm able to talk about it. I don't think I can really, they haven't said I can't talk about the company, but I want to wait till I have it to talk about it more, and I'll let you know what I think. And yeah, so this is pretty exciting. I can't wait to get my new jersey. So I've been trying to streamline and simplify my meal prep. I think I've got it to a good point right now. This week I made a barbecue chicken quesadilla for lunch, and that worked out really well. I normally do like a salad, some sort of like chicken salad or tuna salad. I've gotten away from just like green salads because I'm so bored of that. So I've been trying to come up with different things, and the quesadilla was really, really good. It was just a couple of low fiber tortillas, some rotisserie chicken with some G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce, some pepper jack cheese, and then I just cooked them. And I didn't even eat an entire one. I just ate like 3/4 of one, and it was very filling. It was very tasty. I think I want to try making sort of more taco-ish type ones. I want to take some rotisserie chicken and taco seasoning, and maybe again pepper jack, because I still have a bunch of pepper jack left, and make those for lunch this week. So that should, or maybe not this week, maybe next week. Maybe I'll swap. Maybe go back to chicken salad this week, because I think I have some apples and some grapes I need to use up this week. And I think the next video I'm going to do for you is going to be going over how I've simplified my meal prep and that's how it's working for me. And so look forward to that. Hopefully I can get that done in the next week or so, and I'll get that out to you. So while I was walking today, I realized I need some new sneakers. The sneakers I was wearing are pretty done for. They're not so bad for the gym, but for walking, if I'm going to start regularly walking, I think I need to get better sneakers. I know the Hoka brand and Brooks are two of the better ones, and I realized I really need to get myself to a store and have them fit me for them. But if you have any particular brand of like walking sneakers that you like, could you leave them down in the comments? I really need to find something. I'm willing to invest a little bit of money if they keep my feet comfortable. I do have plantar fasciitis. I've got heel spurs in my right foot. I also have arthritis in my right hip. So I really need to find a pair that are going to be supportive for those issues. So if you have a particular brand that you really like, I'd appreciate you sharing that down in the comments. I know I have to get myself to a store to try to be fitted for a pair and find the right pair, but if you can help me narrow down what I can be looking for, which brands that you like, that would be helpful. So I'd appreciate that. So anyway, this week should be fairly calm, quiet compared to last week. So anyway, that was my week. Very eventful week, more eventful than usual. If you like this video, I would appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. I will talk to you again soon. Take care.
Give a little bit of loving, just a little bit the real.